Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another amazing episode of CLX Foundry Live. I am your host, DJ Blue PDX, and joining me live right now from our rather warm studios in Wichita, Kansas, is our lead technical expert, Paul Steffens, and today's master builder, of course, Zach Killingsworth. Gentlemen, what's it like having summer? Because it is cold as here.
And it feels great. It's a nice little change of pace.
We'll let you know tomorrow when it's cold again.
We got a cold snap tomorrow, but we're going to enjoy it today.
I'll tell you what is also something to look forward to, and nice change of pace is when one of our amazing viewers wins the amazing PC that's just over on the side of Zach's shoulder. Look at that beast. It's absolutely gorgeous. To find out more about how you can get involved in this giveaway, type !give Flora in the chat right now. Now, there's lots of different things that you can do, including following people's Twitters, following their streams, etc. But the one thing that people have been really, really nuts about is the fact that we've got codes worth a varying different amount of entries. Now, there's many different places you can get those codes. On our Tuesday streams, you can get those codes right here at kick.com/clxgaming. On our Thursday streams, you can get those over at twitch.tv/clxgamingtv. You can find them also in our socials. That's YouTube, TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, Threads, all at CLX Gaming. You might even find them in our Discord, and that's discord.gg/clxgaming. The other place you can find them is on my streams, and there's even more coming up later on today. So keep your eyes peeled and just know where you're going to find them. In the meantime, I would love to find out what we're going to be putting inside Gabriel's PC from Olympia right here in the Pacific Northwest.
All right, so starting out, we've got an i7-14700KF for our processor. To cool that, we've got an EK Nucleus AIO. This is the 360 Lux. We've used a couple of those on the show, but excited to use another one. For our motherboard, we've got the Asus TUF Gaming Z790 Plus Wi-Fi motherboard. This is DDR5. So for our memory, we've got 2 sticks of G-Skill, 16 gigabyte, DDR5, 6000 speed, Trident Z5. It's black with the RGB heat spreaders. For our storage, we've got a 2 terabyte Samsung 990 Pro NVMe drive. Really solid drive right there. We've also got an Asus Zonar SE sound card going inside of this. For our video card, we've got an Asus TUF Gaming to match the motherboard, an RTX 4080. This is, I think, maybe the first one that I've seen. I'm sure you've built quite a few of them, Zach. And then for our case fans, we've got 10 120 LED RGB fans from EK. I believe it's a first for the show. They've got some unique connectors on them that we can talk a little bit about later. Got a couple light strips going inside of this, and then to power the whole thing, we've got a Game DS 850 watt Helios. This is an 80 plus gold RGB power supply.
Nice. Okay. Go ahead and get this started. By the way, we've got all the chats up. If you've got a question or something that you want to know more about when it comes to any of the terminology you might hear, or even questions about what might be going with your systems, hit us up in the chat. Let us know. We will keep track of those as much as possible. I see his team is in here. Sidroid. Hello, welcome. Firecrackers in the house over on the purple side. Here on the green, so we got Jeff, the Kick, Prince, Kensu's over here. Alpine Wanderer, welcome in. Celestial Dragon Knight, hiya. So, good to have you all here. Rick Barker, how's it going? So, first things first, let's talk about the case. This is an 011. Now, this is an 011 XL by Leon Lee. We did something that was a little bit larger last week, and that was the 011 Evo XL, which comparatively, now especially looking at this, was significantly larger when it came to size, like dramatically. And it's only now that I'm looking at this and realizing how big of a difference that was on sitting there. This is much, much easier to manage. Now, Paul, we've got some really cool and neat features about this this case. What are some of those features?
So probably starting out, my favorite thing about this case is here in the back, we've got our 2 extra storage bays. What's nice is you can see cables coming out of these. So these are pre-wired with SATA power and data. That way you can hot swap your drives. So we don't have any mechanical or 2.5-inch drives going in this, but let's say the customer has one they want to put in when they get it, or they just upgrade later on. They can just install the drive in one of these trays, slide it in, and it will automatically connect, and they won't have to run any cables.
Which is nice. I actually use that feature myself, and I love it.
Whoa!
Great for consolidating.
That's sweet.
So, ooh, what is that? Let's take a look at this.
It's ultimate.
This is, of course, nice. This is our Asus TUF Gaming Z790 Plus Wi-Fi motherboard, and it is pretty impressive, especially with the shiny. You know how much I like the shiny. And once we get some of the plastic pieces and bits off, we will take a look at that I/O shield. I do appreciate how meticulous Zach is about
carefully taking everything off.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, those little
I got
plastic
one.
pieces can be a pain at some point, but Zach's got the right tool.
Oh, I activated the button.
Nice.
Nice.
Okay. IO shield. Really?
Okay. Get that all up there. Look at that clean look. That is going to look great inside of that 011. So let's take a look at what we've got on this IO shield. It's actually pretty impressive. First of all, while there are USB 2 headers down on the lower side of the front of the board, there are no USB ports here because everything is 3.2 and up. So let's take a look at the very top. We've got our HDMI and display ports at the very top. Below that, we've got our USB-C, and that is a 3.2 Gen 2 by 2. So that means you've got a total of 20 gigs up and down from that port alone, which is great for everything from other types of, what's the word I'm looking for? Docks. High-speed docks are really, really good there. You've got your USB 3.2 Gen 1s, your super speed up top, down below, and then of course you've got your Gen 2s down, which look a little like teal or green by the 2.5 gig LAN port. Plus we've got another 3.2 Gen 2 Type C up right above our Wi-Fi 6E on our full array of surround sound ports, which probably aren't going to get a whole lot of use since we are going to be putting a sound card in this board. But before we get to that sound card, let's take a look at what we're going to be shoving in to make this board function. And I believe that is actually going to be an Intel Core i7-14700KF. Now, we have used some of these before on the show, but not a ton of them since they're just so brand new. Paul, what can you tell me about the i7-14700 processor?
Yes, this is a 20-core, 28-thread processor, so a ton of processing power. You've got 8 performance cores that have hyper-threading on them, and then you've got 12 efficiency cores to go along with that. It's got a base speed of 3.4, and it will boost up to 5.6.
Nice. And of course, the KF, well, what does that mean?
So the K means it's unlocked, which means you can overclock this, and the F means it will not have onboard video built into the CPU. Now, for most gaming builds, that's totally fine because we're going to be having a video card to throw in. We don't need video on our CPU.
Alrighty. Yeah, no links there. Luckily, appreciate it though. Let's see here. We did set Legendary Dads. Just got to say, me personally, I find PC building very zen. Honestly, so do I.
For
It's
sure.
oddly relaxing. Oh, Tuesdays. Yes, by the way, this is our last stream before... No, I'm sorry. Thursday's our last stream before we go into the weekend. And then, of course, the following Tuesday, we will be announcing the winner, which will be a lot of fun. A lot of fun. Over on, oh, hi. Lost says over on TikTok, you guys stream this in any of their platforms. We are live right now on TikTok, Facebook, YouTube, obviously Kick and Twitch.
We everywhere.
Yeah, there we go. We all over the place. So, yes. Yeah, it was the recent ones. Yeah, they're talking about the codes in there. So let's talk about getting that processor in. We've got that locked in. Now, one of the cool things I like about TUF gaming boards is they are literally tough, but I also love the accessories package. They have a really great way of organizing that.
Yeah, the
Whereas
packaging
most people
for
are
these
just-
are
it's
really
just-
nice. It's
Yeah. Very user friendly. Okay. Now we pulled this out. Now this is something that we don't usually see a lot here just because they're kind of new, but this is a really, really great AIO. It's a 360 AIO. But this is from EK Nucleus, and it's a CR360 Lux D, which is awesome. So, Paul, what are some really cool things about this AIO? And also, for those who might not know what an AIO is, why don't we walk through that process?
Yeah, so AIO stands for all-in-one, referring to the liquid cooler here, which means it's everything is there. There's already fluid already in the radiator. You just pick the right hardware that matches your motherboard. That's what Zach's doing right now. Install it, and it goes on really easy. Like, I can't recommend the AIOs enough. They're a great way to cool your CPU without, you know, having to really put a ton of work into it. These ones from EK cool great. We see them quite a bit here. We have a lot of different brands that we use for AIOs, but EK is definitely one of the top ones.
Angela mentions, I cleaned the inside of my PC and had to take some parts out to clean it, and then whenever I put it back, uh-oh, what happened? Hopefully everything worked out right. I'm still waiting for the day that I see dust in my machine.
Yeah.
Still, I haven't seen a dang thing.
That there, those going away.
It just sits there, does its thing.
That's
The EK stuff is solidly built and a great customer support. Cosworth, that's really good to hear. Really good to hear.
The EK is really well known in the industry for their liquid cooling. Now we use a lot of EK components on our open loop, so that's when I first started seeing EK on all those components. But it's great to see they're doing AIOs now. I know they have been for a while, but it's nice to get our hands on it.
Sorry, Hawaiian penguins over here like my butler today. Wrong chat. And Ivory just immediately responds. That is amazing. Let's see here. Over on, Angela mentions that, so once you put your parts back in, hold on, let me back up. And Matty Joe brings up the fact the new Galahad 2 has incredible screen features. Definitely agree with you on this one. It'll start, then it'll go back to saying no signal. So Angela over on TikTok, can I ask you, everything is on, but it doesn't show the display. Interesting. Paul, what could possibly lead to that?
So step one, if you were taking it out, I assumed you unplug your monitors and everything from it. Make sure that monitor cable, whether it's HDMI or DisplayPort, is plugged into the video card and not your motherboard I/O. Not this piece that we showed off earlier. You actually want it plugged into the video card. Usually that sits a little bit lower than your motherboard. If that doesn't solve your issue, take out that video card, put it back in. Maybe you got it seated wrong. But if it was working before, these things are pretty durable. It should be working now. You probably just got a loose connection somewhere, or maybe a cable not plugged into the right port.
Okay. That was weird. Now, yeah, what kind of motherboard is it? Interestingly enough. James, welcome back. You don't see the point of winning, never win anything, never say never. But all it takes is one. All it takes is one. Venur, what's going on? No, you're not multitasking on your phone anymore, Hawaiian Penguin. Now, the other thing that we're going to be doing today that we haven't really used much of, and that is going to be our fans, which is cool, super cool. And these are actually the EK fans. So these match the AIO. The one thing I noticed that is different about this AIO than others is others are flat, right, with your tubes coming out directly on that same plane, whereas this has got that very little L hook right there, almost like a 1 or something.
Yeah, so this does have a slight, I'm not sure why it has this. I'm sure there's some internal components that have this piece right here that makes it a little extra. The only thing to keep in mind if you're using one of these coolers is make sure your fans don't have any obstructions up top, because that can prevent you from getting in there. We've had issues with some of the fans that interconnect together without wires. So that's just something to keep in mind, but any basic fan will fit on these.
Firecracker over on the Twitch side says, bought a CLX system in October of 22. No problems. The best system I've ever had. That is awesome to hear, my dude.
That's great to hear.
Awesome to hear. Let's see here. Tim Smith over on the Facebook side says, hey, guess what comes in tomorrow? My PC, boy, I'm ready.
Ooh,
I'm
nice.
excited to see pictures, man. I'm so excited to see pictures. I think it's going to be cool. Let's see here. Nasty Yoda. What's up? Is it just Yoda if you're nasty? Just kidding. Looking to buy an RX 6700 XT. Which model should I buy? Sapphire Nitro Plus or Gigabyte's Eagle 3OC? Ooh,
So if it was me,
good question.
I would pick the Sapphire. And that's just because I'm a little bit more partial to that brand. Gigabyte is still solid. So really, with those, it's pretty much going to be the same performance out of both of them. So pick the one that you like the most, that you think looks cool and matches your system.
Oh, Mark Doc Stater says, I got my Kratos a month ago to try. Very happy with it. Nice, dude. Nice. All right, now we're getting our RAM shoved in there. Now let's talk about that real fast. This is actually going to be 32 gigs of Kingston DDR5 6000, which is awesome. That's two 16 gig sticks. I think, is that what I have? No, I have Kingston Fury. So that's the same one that I have. Or almost the same. But yeah, DDR5 6000, the fastest RAM we sell right now.
Yeah, this is blazing fast, right at the leading edge. DDR5 is obviously still, I would consider it brand new, even though it's been out for a bit. But yeah, solid performing RAM right there. We'll see it be the mainstream in a few months, I'm sure.
Let's see. Straight out of the Bruce Lee movie 36 ago. So, no, this is 6,000, not 5,600. So even better. Now, the one thing that we are going to need to do is install our operating system and drive. And this is a 2 terabyte Samsung 990 Pro. Now, this is an NVMe M.2. I do love the fact that you just flip that little lock there and it just holds it right in place.
Fine.
Little kick flip. I dig it.
Scared.
Now, obviously, we're going to be putting our heat spreader on there. How fast and efficient are M.2s, and also how important is it to have that heat plate on there?
Yeah, so these M.2s don't really generate a ton of heat. Usually this heat plate is more for aesthetics. Obviously, any extra heat dissipation is good, so if you've got it, you can have it on there. If your board doesn't have one, it's just the bare M.2, that's totally fine as well.
Nice.
Man.
Nice. Astral Wolfwind, your PC arrived today? Heck yeah, let's go.
Ooh, awesome.
That'll be fun. That'll be so much fun. I love it. So we've got a Steno over here on the kit side. What do y'all think about the Radeon XFX 6700? Good question.
Yeah, I mean, it's a really good mid-tier performing card there, kind of mid-high tier right there. We use a lot of XFX here as well, so I've seen a ton of those. So, yep.
Quick update from Angelo over on TikTok side, who mentioned, yeah, everything's on, but doesn't show the display. Everything's connected. And the HDMI is connected to the graphics card and not the motherboard.
All right, that's a. I would try reseating it first then before we get too into the weeds on it, but that would be another good place to start. Sometimes it'll look like it's all the way in. Your PCIe clip will be showing up and locked, and some of those pins can just be a little off, and that can cause that. Try to always go with the simple stuff first, and then troubleshoot it further after that.
Man, I have a funny story about that I'll share later. Jumping back over here to, excuse me, the GIG side. Got a question coming in, and it is going in right before our red code, and that's red soot, SOOT, Sierra Oscar Oscar Tango. Soot like the thing you get on you if you are Santa Claus riding down people's chimneys. But the question coming in from Morris Young is, air cooling versus AIOs. What's better?
So 9 times out of 10, the AIO is going to be better than air cooling. Now that being said, there ain't nothing wrong with air coolers. If you like a quiet system and don't want to have a liquid cooling thing, go with an AI or go with an air cooler. Yeah, it's you can get some aftermarket ones that perform really well. Just typically once you get into that 240 and higher AIO range, it's going to cool better than pretty much every air cooler out there.
Halo Kush, I bought a 3070 and a 10700K a few years back, and sad to know it's considered mid-tier now.
Yeah, it's just how it goes, unfortunately. I've got a 11700KF for my processor and a 2080 Super, and was top of the line back then, and now it's still performing great. I still got it, so, but yeah. Time goes on, things just get better and better.
Gabe Granger over here from the Facebook side. Got my first PC from CLX about a year ago, and I've been loving it. That is awesome. And it's on the, back to the reference of the mid-tiers. So I was gaming on a 9900K and a 2070 for ages, like up until I got this beast. But yeah, mid-tier can work just fine. Just slightly lower You know, and 37 these are still damn good cards.
Yeah, I play
I mean,
pretty
I'm
much
running a
everything on
3090.
2K, and so my system works great for that. You know, it's really when you're trying to run in 4K or higher resolutions on those top line titles, or when you really need like the really high end stuff.
Yeah. What's your PC specs now? Oh, so thanks to the wonderful folks here at CLX.
Fourth fan.
I've got a custom
Please.
011 case just like this, but mine has got the white on the inside and it's painted on the outside. It is a i9-13900 KF processor mounted on an Asus ROG Maximus Formula motherboard. It's got 64 gigs of DDR5 6000 and a custom 3090 overclock edition. Plus, it's also got an 990 M.2 for the operating system, Fury 4 terabyte M.2 for the game side of the system, and 13 game DSA OLED fans with a Intermax liquid cooler. No, Glacier 1 and liquid cooler. And it's wicked. Absolutely wild, the things that I can do with this thing.
Wicked smart. Wicked smart.
Like, I'm still blown away that on 4K, Rainbow Six Siege on Ultra is pulling 250 plus frames per second. Absolutely nuts.
Okay.
What monitor do you say I should get when I get my 3080? Good question.
Oh, with your 3080, you can go with anything 2K or higher. You can probably play some things on 4K as well with really good frame rates. So I'm a little bit dated on my monitor, not a lot, but I have a 2K 144 hertz monitor. That was kind of the top of the line back when I bought mine. Right now you see a lot of higher refresh rates in that 144, but bare minimum 2K 144 hertz is what I'd go with. You'll probably see a lot of like 165 hertz, 225, stuff like that. But yep, anything like that is good.
There's that. And then.
Yeah, LG, and I agree with Ivy. LG monitors are amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And yeah, 1440, 144, I would say is probably your base. For me, that's my minimum
Okay.
gaming threshold.
It's one of those things, once you get used to a monitor that's got that higher refresh rate and that higher resolution, you can't really go back. So it just looks too good.
Yep, agreed. Agreed. It's so cold out there right now. I even closed the windows. All right, now we've got that board set down in there. Now, one of the cool things you'll notice about the grommets that are on the right-hand side, you notice how it looks like they're kind of like they're a ramp. They go down. Well, that's because this board doesn't sit directly on the back of the case. This is actually called a 3/4 build. Paul, what is a 3/4 build and how is this helpful for performance?
Yeah, so what that is it essentially gives us room in the back of the case, like where I was showing those hard drives earlier. It gives us room back there for a few different components. So on a 3/4 build, your motherboard sits typically 3/4 down from the top of your case if you've got it laying down like this. So that allows us to have our power supply go in the back here, and then any extra storage drives. And some benefits to that are, I think first of all, is really looks. You don't see all the cables coming out of your power supply. They just run through these grommets and look really clean. And then also your power supply gets its own intake from outside the case and exhausts it out this hole right here. So none of that heat from that gets in the main body of your case. Keeps your system a little bit cooler.
Yeah, definitely can agree. Well, and the fact that these, the AIOs, especially in this case, keep everything so reasonably cool. I don't think my system has ever gone above 62, maybe 50, maybe 60, 62.
Oh yeah, that's really good temps for especially for the components you've got.
Does it? Yeah, it's right now just sitting at 36.
There you go.
All right, well, enjoy.
Yeah.
How much is the system you guys are building worth right now? So this is about a $3,900 build. And if you'd like to see, well, yeah, right about there. I'm just making sure I've caught everybody. Josh, Jose Gabriel joined over here on the TikTok side. Angela mentions that they even reset their BIOS, taking out the battery, and even cleaned the RAM just in case, and it's still being funky.
Still doing that, huh? Yeah, that's no good.
I want to check and like swap out HDMI cables. Also, do you have a second monitor or a television with an HDMI port in that you can check just to make sure it's not a problem with either the monitor or a display port out, display port to HDMI, so that you can use one of the other ports on the 2060?
Yay!
That's cool.
I was hoping that one was one of the new ones.
When you boot up, does the 2060's fan spin? That at least say whether or not you got power. And that's just what all that comes to hit my mind at all. Let's see here.
Okay.
Just waiting for Mike's trying to put in the i9 3900 into the bundle offer. I'm still on a 12th gen on the bundle. And Jay-Z Rock, yeah, I already got there. It is a TUF, an Asus TUF RTX, 4080 16 gigs. It's going to be wicked. Yeah. Now, interesting perspective from here while he's getting that AIO locked in there. You'll notice on the bottom, that is where the actual, the lower intake fan filter is. And that's just a really simple, easy way to pull it in and out and check it.
Very easy.
Ta-da!
Wipe it out. Slide it back in. You're good to go.
And of course, you can see those feet there. They actually give a nice bit of space between the bottom of the case and whatever surface you've sat it on. Now, this is a good time to talk about what's the best place to put a PC so that you're going to keep it running smooth and clean, but also efficiently.
Yeah, so if you can have it on a hard surface, if you got hardwood floors or tile or something like that, that's obviously the best. These feet are designed to give you a couple inches of room so that you can get fresh air in through the bottom. So you don't want to put this thing on anything that's like really soft and can block up this filter there. If you do have some flooring like that, some sort of carpet, you can just set down a piece of wood or a piece of cardboard or something, set this on. That way you maintain that gap and keep getting fresh air into your system.
Yep, I have mine sitting on my lower one here, sitting on tiles, ironically.
There you go.
So Angela mentions that everything spins, even the LEDs. It just stops displaying after 5 seconds of the boot up.
So it is, are you getting like a BIOS screen or anything? It's at least showing you something? My first impression was that you just weren't getting anything. But if you are getting like a BIOS screen or something that's just got, you know, maybe a bunch of words or numbers that don't make sense, then it sounds like we've got another issue there.
Jay's Roski says, I still have a 3090 Founders Edition and it performs just as good as the 4000 series. Probably won't upgrade until the 5 or 6000 comes out.
Yeah, I don't blame you. If you're going with
justifiable.
a high-end card like that, you can hold on to that for a few years. Like I said, I've still got the 2080 Super, and it's still doing great for me. I don't play a lot of stuff. You know, everything I play is at 2K and not very demanding games, so it'll last me for a while.
Teddy Bear Killer brings up a good point over here on the Twitch side. He says, I'd reset the CPU cooler. That could be part of it. Let's see, coming back over to Shadow Wave says, so I have an RX 5700 that causes my computer to shut down when I'm playing games. I think it's overheating. Is that a thermal paste issue?
So if it is overheating, I mean, it kind of sounds like it is. If it's running fine for days without gaming, and then as soon as you start gaming, that card starts working and producing heat, and that's what causes the shutdown. Could definitely be that. 5700, that's still not too old. I wouldn't think it's the thermal paste on the card. It definitely could be, but I would be kind of surprised if that was it. You might make sure those fans are spinning and all that good stuff. Sometimes a fan can go out.
It's the Biz. I just did an AMD PC build last night. Heck yeah. Awesome. Congrats. Hope everything's working out for that. Says it worked for about a year before it started acting up. Interesting. Oh. So Thermaltake chassis P3, P6, and P8 all have VESA mounts so that you can mount it to a TV mount on the wall. First time the wall mounting, very satisfying. Really simple. Can you do me a favor? Like in our Discord at discord.gg/clxgaming, we have a section in there about, post pictures of your setup. I would love to see that setup because that sounds really cool. Teddy Bear Killer mentions, when I first got my 7800X 3D build, I was having my system boot and then reboot for a while. Turns out the cooler wasn't fully mounted. At first, I chalked it up to the RAM just training and causing it to do that.
Yep, definitely could be. The PCs are obviously designed to protect themselves, so if that processor's getting too hot, it's just going to shut off. And if you don't have your cooler mounted correctly and you boot it up, that processor gets hot fast. So, yep, it can shut down pretty quick. And you might make sure you took the plastic off the AIO. Maybe there was plastic on there.
Ooh.
We've seen that before.
Yeah.
And yeah, just make sure everything's tightened down.
Yeah, it says it'll show the startup, then it'll go to my login, and then soon the fans will start to get a little faster, and then suddenly no display.
Yeah, right away it sounds like an overheating issue is where I would look first. If you're booting up, you're getting to your Windows login screen. Sounds like whatever your OS is installed on, whether it's a solid state drive or a hard drive, sounds like that's working properly, or else you wouldn't get to that login screen. Processor memory sounds like it's working because it's getting you there, and obviously you're getting video. So yeah, you might just check that cooler, make sure that's tightened down properly. Did you take the cooler off or anything when you were taking stuff out, or loosen any screws or anything like that?
Excellent question. Gregory Turner over on the Facebook side says, you guys built mine. Heck yeah. Hope it's all working well and going well for you. Jumping back over here into the Twitch side, I've been looking on the website, going back and forth, getting about whether to get a ready to ship or build one. What do you guys suggest? I want to play console games through it to stream on Twitch.
Yeah, so really just figuring out what you're going to use it for. You're going to play console games through Twitch. If our ready to ship specs will work for you, then definitely do one of those. Our ready to ship systems ship really fast. We got them in stock, so we can ship it out same day. It's usually within the next day or two. And so yeah, if you want it quick, that's the way to go. If you see one of those ready to ship systems that you like, but maybe you wish the video card was just a little bit better, you can customize those RTS systems, upgrade the video card, and then you'll get a built one.
Yeah. I think that's one of the things I liked about the RTS systems is that it gives you a nice baseline, a jumping off point of like, all right, here's the basics. Now let's see what I want or need to play with in order to keep the price relatively, where I need it. But yes, I saw somebody on Reddit that bought a build from someone with the plastic on it on the cooler. That is going to be a messy cleanup.
Yeah, we've seen them work with the plastic on there, like as far as booting up and opening up a game. But then once you get anything that's intensive, like playing a game, that's when you really start to notice it. So.
I should have worn pants down here. You sent a picture to Discord? Let me check it out. This is going to be fun. I like it. See, let's set up. PC setup. Oh, interesting. Okay. Nice. Also, great chair. I remember that one. Devil's Minion. And of course, I always scroll back up and get lost in people's designs. Question about the giveaway code. The giveaway, does it come in the crate? Yes, I believe it does. You get one of these giant sarcophagus crates, just like I have back here, and honestly, it makes the perfect stand. And if I ever have to move or, do something with it, I at least still have my crate. It actually looks kind of boss, to be fair.
Yeah, the crates are really cool.
Whoop. I put it in the wrong channel. Uh-oh.
And
And yeah, vanilla
there we go.
365 is probably enough for a decent motherboard CPU combo. Typically, you can look at places like Micro Center or something like that that will cut you a deal on a motherboard and CPU combo, stuff they're trying to like clear out of stock or something like that. So you should definitely be able to get, you know, a solid mid-tier board and CPU for that.
Oh my gosh, now that I see what you're looking at, oh my gosh, this is actually really tight. That is very interesting. It doesn't have to sit on the ground at all. And it, you know, acts as artwork. There we go. That is really cool. So yeah, you guys, it's over in the CLX setup picks. So
Sound card.
definitely check it out. Definitely check it out.
It makes audio.
Uh-oh.
There is our sound card going in. You can see Zach plugging in the HD audio front panel header to the sound card. That's probably something, if you've installed a sound card before, you might have missed. Typically there's a spot on the motherboard you plug that into, but some sound cards have the port for that as well. And what that does is allow your front panel audio headset / microphone to work through your sound card.
Yep. And of course an Asus Sonar SE.
I like the idea of every time I plug in a sound card, the THX
Oh yeah,
thump hits.
Remember they always had like the plants that would show that too, and they'd be like, yeah, it was cool.
Yeah, there's some really incredible ones.
Okay, that is a normal power supply.
Crosskey over here. I have one for sale right now. It's a Corsair Corsair V2 Hero with a Ryzen 5 5832 gigs of RAM. Nice. You haven't seen a sound card in so long, right? Reciprocal? Well, I mean, for the most part, mid and high-end boards have a really, really great sound encoder and decoder on them. But sometimes if you're doing something different, like you're really trying to, if you're recording, say, the sound card is really helpful in that state. So, all right. Now, as we're getting this all set up, you can see the real joy about those grommets in the back is that they funnel all the cabling through them. You really don't have to see any growth, nothing, just all right there. You just pull the sound card out of your DDR3 system. There we go.
Nice.
Oh, let me catch back up over here on the TikTok side.
Okay, let's just get these.
So the only thing Angelo's ever taken out of the system was the graphics card and the drive.
Yeah.
How do you guys still have those? What are you referencing to there, Carsby? Still have what?
There. That goes there.
Okay, we're gonna take a look at so over here on the Twitch side, Cosworth. How much do other PCIe equipment disrupt airflow for a graphics card, or is it negligible? Excellent question.
Yeah, so the short answer is it is negligible. That being said, there's no doubt about it. If you put a card in under your video card, it's obviously gonna, block off some of the airflow there. But what you'll see, like in games, you won't notice any difference in your frame rate or anything like that, any performance issues by having a couple of extra cards in there. The case is designed to have air flowing all around the entire portion of the case, so it'll still get sufficiently cooled.
How about those PCs? Well, we're a PC company. That's what we do. Mother Torres over on TikTok just rebuilt my PC this week, and this is hard. I'm a newbie. Yep, and that's what we're here is to help with questions and to ensure that everybody gets a chance to ask what they need to. Is the biz asks, when I try to stream on YouTube and TikTok, my PC slows down. Yes, it will. Absolutely. So if you're gaming on the same system, you want to make sure you have enough resources to do all that.
Okay, yeah, I will add one
Excuse me. Sorry, it is just frigid in my basement right now. Is leaving the side panel off a good idea?
Generally, no. If you've got to keep your side panel off to keep your system cool, then you've got something going on in there. Each computer case, whether it's a high-end one like this or even the most basic ones, they are engineered to be sealed off, closed. That way the air flows properly through them. Now, I've definitely done it myself in the past where I had really high-end hardware and not a good enough cooler, so everything was so hot that I just took the side panel off and set a box fan next to my PC. So that will definitely help keep it cool, but you definitely should not have to do that.
Then I want to...
There we go. Carby, just head over to clxgaming.com and check it out. We've got a wide array of different price ranges and different designs. So,
This is...
do you guys give away old spare PCs that people don't want? Not that I'm aware of.
Nope, we don't usually have too many of those.
I did have a question about what's better, a 4070 or a 7800 XT.
So those are definitely very similar as far as performance goes. I'm a little bit more partial to NVIDIA, so I would pick the 4070, but you could find a person who knows just as much as me, if not more, that would pick the 7800. So it's just kind of up to you, but I really like running NVIDIA cards in my builds.
Splash Prince, do you need a high upload speed for streaming? You do need a reasonable upload speed for streaming, and you got to consider that it's not just the stream that is involved in that. So, on the average, most residential homes and connections have they are limited to 12 megs up, unless you have fiber. And in that case, you're going to have a ton. I have a business account, so I get 40 megs up, which gives me a nice bandwidth and leeway so that I can be streaming across multiple platforms and keep everything even. So, what's the best program for monitoring GPU heat while gaming or streaming?
Oh man, there's so much out there. We have a lot of built-in stuff like our own that we use here, but I think it's just called like hardware monitor or CPU hardware monitor maybe. That's actually the name of the program, but that's a good one there. There's some plugins you can get to where it just like shows it right on your desktop screen. There's probably a million different ones out there. Just Google, CPU or GPU temp monitor and you'll come out there. Yeah, MSI Afterburner is a good one too. There's so many of them out there.
These are intakes.
Let's see here. How do I keep my components cool? I was cooler and 6 fans. Not sure if it is an intake or exhaust. Which, yeah, good question.
How do you keep your
What's some great ways
cool?
to keep your system cool? Yeah.
I mean, first off, making sure the intake isn't blocked off or anything. It can get blocked up with hair, just, pet hair, all that good stuff. So make sure that's clean first of all. Make sure you've got enough intake fans and exhaust fans. That's very important. I recently had a friend who I helped put together his computer. Got it all together really quick, but he didn't buy any fans. So the case had one exhaust fan, so it's working with that, but we definitely need to add at least 2 more to the system for his case. So
Yeah. Let's see here. Jump back over to the kid side. Expectation match. Have you ever put 6 fans on a radiator? Yeah, we actually did that for my build. I have a push-pull on mine, so it's 3 fans in the back pushing the air in, 3 fans in the front pulling the air out. So it keeps everything very, 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 very cool. Ivory over here just dropping some knowledge and dropping some love. Here we go. Let's try this code. It is Blue-6 AWK or Bach. It is BLU-6 Alpha Whiskey Kilo. Check that out. That is going to be worth 100 entries.
And we were just talking about chickens, and Ivory drops us the chicken code.
Right. Have you heard of any issues with the 13th and 14th Gen i9s with Epic Games launching games? Nope.
I haven't either, nope. I've definitely had issues with the Epic Game Launcher, though. I don't play a lot of Fortnite, but every now and then I'll hop on to play some with the buddies, and it seems like it's always rough. I forget what else. Maybe it was the Division on there back in the day, the Division 2. I think that was one as well. Grand Theft Auto 5 was another one.
Why can't everyone just agree to use Steam? Good question.
That would be great. We can only wish. Speaking of Steam, I've been getting back on the Elden Ring grind. I think I'm at the last boss. I'm doing a blind playthrough, but I think I'm almost there.
Oh, nice.
So, ready. I think the DLC comes out in June. That'll be a good one.
Nice.
We still got to get DJ 200 subs, so he'll play it.
Okay.
Wait. 6 AWK. Yes.
Okay.
The number 6. And the first 3 letters of awkward. Brusky wants to know, Zorowski, excuse me, the person with the display issue, which is Angelo over here on the TikTok side, can you take the battery out of the motherboard for 30 seconds and put it back in to see if that helps? I had the same problem once and did that and it fixed it. I think, I think you mentioned that you had done that already, but we'll come back in here real fast and let me scroll back up. Let's grab that and have the conversation about that question. Caden mentions, I have an Intel i9 12900K and was seeing what's the best GPU to pair with it. Good question.
So that is a very high-end CPU, so the best thing to pair with it would be a very high-end GPU. So, look at 4080, 4090, something like that. I wouldn't go any lower than a 4080. If you want to go for like the 30 series, look at 3090, 3090 Ti, 3080-ish. Something up there, going with that high end. If that's out of your budget, going with 4070 or even 4060 Ti, something like that is just fine. You'll just have a lot more headroom on that CPU, and you won't be really getting all the. Your CPU will pretty much be chilling if you got that.
And Mother Taurus mentions they have the same CPU and they are using a 4070. I mean, I've got a 13900K up and I've got a 3090 in there.
There you go.
You bought a $2,000 PC and then when they built it, they forgot to put the fans on them. What?
Oh no.
How does that happen? What can you get for $2,000? I would definitely say Unvotion. Head on over to our website, clxgaming.com. See what meets your fancies over there. Okay, because like on my i9 9900K people, I had a 120 AIO, which is one fan, but I had a push-pull on it, so it was 2 fans around just that little square. Man, it never kept that PC cool enough, ever. I'm glad that it's the last time I'll ever have to deal with that company. Hayden KE, can you build me a PC? I mean, we build tons of PCs.
Sure.
Oh, can you guys grab my build? Oh, can you guys build me a PC?
Look at that.
Got it.
Yeah, reach out to Ivory about that. We'll see if we can. No promises or anything like that. Depends on what we got on the schedule, but if we can, we will.
And of course, there was a question about how you guys feel about about NZXT.
So I don't really know. I haven't used anything from NZXT in a long time. Like, it's probably like 7 years ago. They had those, I think they were Phantom cases. They were like giant. I think they were like red, white, and orange. They were really cool looking cases. Everybody had one. And that's pretty much all I know about NZXT.
Expectations asks, does vaping hurt a PC since it can pull the smoke in?
Well, you definitely don't want to be like blowing your vape smoke into your PC. It probably won't like that, but if you're vaping around it, I mean, it's not gonna hurt it quickly at all. Maybe after 5-6 years of vaping next to your PC, you might notice things getting a little caked up in there, but it's not gonna cause any immediate damage or anything like that.
Okay.
Unlike cigarette smoke, which will definitely, like,
Yeah, we've
my
seen
DJ
those
equipment
before.
from back when I back when I first started DJing, you could still smoke in bars, and I'm allergic to smoke, so it was awful. But the amount of cleaning I had to do on that gear, it still is sticky. Like, it's just. Granted, I also don't know why I still have it. I mean, it's a collector's edition, but it doesn't really function. It needs some work.
Yeah.
And I don't know how to solder. So, Venor, we've had the codes have gone out a couple times. One of them is blue, 6AWK, 6 Alpha Whiskey Kilo. The other is red dash soot, SOOT. Don't forget blue is BLU, not blue, BLUE. What about that gas smoke?
What?
Also, do not submit your system to Steam. That's really bad.
Also, don't pour water into your PC.
Also,
Pro tip from a professional.
I remember seeing something in here a second ago. Where was it? Asking about liquid. Can you recommend the best gaming headset? I mean, I can recommend what I use and I believe in. But I'm also a Logitech guy, and I'm a Logitech partner. So, personally, I love the A40s from the wired side of it. The brand new graphene drivers on the A50s are incredible. Plus, you can also go wireless or wired. What do you guys use?
So currently I'm using A40s right now. I had a pair of A50 wireless, loved them. I just had them for so long, the battery went dead. Before that, I had Logitech G933s, which I really liked. They were a lot more noise canceling than my Astros were. But the A40s that I'm using right now, they've got that mixer that, sits on your table. And I just really like that. I like being able, it's just got, a couple dials, big one for volume. The other one, like I assigned my YouTube and Spotify to one channel and then my Discord to the other. That way, when I'm sick of listening to my buddies, I can just crank it over to the other stuff.
Yep, I have mine really locked in through my GoXLR into my Mixamp Pro so that I can adjust how loud the game is in my head versus how loud they are without it affecting how the Discord call or the game chat goes out to the stream.
Oh yeah, yeah, it's really nice. It's the first time I've ever messed with it, and I really like having it.
Oh, Danielle L25, the 830s you won from my giveaway. Awesome. That is great. Yeah, those 830s sound great. I know that Damon or In Need of Temperance got theirs working. There we go. Yeah, they're awesome. I think the one thing that I do love about the 840s is how consistent they were in competitive environments, because we could just daisy chain our mix amps together. And then there was zero delay, so you don't have to worry about going through Xbox Live or things like that.
Oh, that's cool. I didn't know you could do that. That's really cool. Absolutely.
They're great. And they've got a really great frequency response range and surround sound in them. You caught me right as I was about to wash my PC with a bucket of water. Dear God, Sebastian.
Good thing we got there just in time.
Right? Getting the important facts out there for you. Now, let's see. Your Firecracker says, so what's the codes for? The codes are for a PC giveaway. See that beautiful PC over there to the left of the right there? That gorgeous thing? That is our PC giveaway for this month. And if you type !give Flora, FLORA, you'll be able to check that out. Do you know any websites that let you filter headsets by weight? My friend is trying to find something under a half pound. I mean,
Yeah, I don't know by weight. I know my G933s were pretty heavy and compared to my Astros. So, that's something to keep in mind. Wireless ones are typically going to be heavier than not wired ones. So something to keep in mind.
I just play with a Bose surround system. That's how I listen to all of my video games.
There you go.
The Pro X2s are exceedingly light.
Yeah.
Like ridiculously light.
Someone should have said their favorite headset was AirPods. That'd be great. Super lightweight.
Yeah.
Okay. So
earbuds. Is it a weight issue? Well, I mean, there are earbuds that have mics on them. I know that the Logi Fits are custom molded to your ear.
When I don't want to mess up my beautiful hair.
Yeah,
put some
good
earbuds
Lord,
in.
that is a big card. Yeah, the Pro X2s are super nice. I like them better than the Pro X's, but
Okay.
let's see here. Oh, on Chad. Oh, Chad Bartlett. Hi, how are you? Can you send a CLX computer back for upgrades after time?
Yeah,
Good
absolutely.
question.
For sure, yeah. If you've got your machine, you want to upgrade it, you want us to do it for you, that's definitely something we can do. If you buy your machine, you get lifetime warranty on labor and customer support, so that's always good. That can help you out there. And if you just want to upgrade, if you do have one of our machines and you're confident in upgrading it yourself, but you just got some questions, you can always call in and our guys can just walk you through that, and that's no big deal either.
Yeah. As for getting a separate mic, yeah, get a Beacon mic. They're wild. They're beautiful. Absolutely gorgeous. Mine is sitting right over there, in fact. Popping it down over here. How do I know if my fans are taking air in or taking out air?
Oh, that's a good question. So we've got an extra fan right here I'll just use for an example. So 99% of the time when you're looking at a fan, this is what we call the front right here, and then this is the back. So this has that like fan grill is what I call this. This fan grill is where that air is going to be coming out of. Now there are some high-end fans that are reversible. That way you're always looking at this side. You never see a fan grill that blow the other way. But like I said, 9 times out of 10, the side without the grill is the intake, so air coming in this way, and then the side with the grill is where the air is coming out.
That's so many. Is that right? I've got 6.
Yeah, agreed. The Logitech ATX-G1 is 250 grams. The Razer Black Shark is 240 grams. HyperX makes some lightweight headsets. Looking for earbuds that will work with my iPod Classic to replace my Razer Hammerheads. Any recommendations? That is, I think that depends on what version of Bluetooth they have. Do you have gaming? Do you do gaming bundles? Asks Phoenix. What? Good question. Do we offer gaming bundles?
Like peripheral bundles, like mouse, keyboards, all that good stuff? If that's what you're asking, we do have some of those, like mouse, keyboard combos and whatever available.
I like when I unplug a header, I think I gained another header.
Oh, yeah. Oh, there's one.
Wasn't there earlier?
Mm-hmm.
No, it's just the header that I unplugged. Okay.
I guess the Pro X2s are 345 weight. Yeah, definitely some differences there.
Okay. So there's 4 plugins.
You bought some. So I bought some KZ
5.
ZS10s.
Right.
Nice.
So I still have 1.
Nice.
2.
Do you think that it's worth reapplying new thermal paste to a GPU? My buddy says companies sometimes use the cheap stuff.
I mean, your buddy's right. Some companies definitely do the cheap stuff, but if you're not having any issues, I would not worry about it. Getting into changing the thermal paste on your GPU, you've got to take this whole back part off. It's going to void your warranty on the card, whoever you bought it from. They've got these stickers they put over screws that need to come out to show that came out, and typically there's some really small connectors. This card, you can see them on the front here. These are our fan connectors. We'll kind of get this in shot here in just a sec, but a lot of times on smaller cards, that fan connector is really small, and it's usually not in a good location like this. So if you break one of those, it's really not good. Your whole card is not going to have fans. So, I would not recommend doing the thermal paste on the video card unless you're really comfortable with hardware, or you're just like, this card might be dead, I'm just going to try this, then yeah, I'd go for it. But if everything's working, I wouldn't do it.
I do want to apologize to TikTok. For some reason, my chat stopped updating, and then all of a sudden, there's like 18 different messages. So let me go back through here and just make sure we got everything cleared out and got all of our questions answered. Thank you for the follow over there on TikTok. What is your opinion on the Power Cooler Hellhound 7900 XTX?
Hellhound.
Power Color Hellhound.
We just used one of
just did
those
one.
like last week, maybe.
Yeah.
Really cool card. I believe was that the one, Zach, where the fans were either like blue or purple?
Yeah.
They got a really nice blue or purple to them. A couple switches on them to switch them into like a faster mode or a quiet mode. I thought the card was cool.
Okay.
Switching from a wired steel series headset. I mean, honestly, the A50s you can plug, the new A50X, you have got HDMI's in and out on the back, and it's HDMI 2.1, so you can literally run your gaming PC through your headset, and you can do multiple different things at once. So you can switch from like your PC to your Xbox to your PlayStation, all with just a clickable button. They're kind of wired, kind of wild, and they're wireless. Let's see here. I do know we had a question about what's the best laptop to use that will run GTA RP very well.
Yeah, I see. Ivory had mentioned our newest laptops with the 4070 in them. That would be a great one to start with right there. You know, typically I always recommend going with a desktop for anything really gaming, but there's obviously these cases where you want to be mobile and playing that. I've seen a lot of like truck drivers who get like gaming laptops and have them set up. So yeah, something with that in there. The video card rules pretty much still apply in laptops, just sometimes they are a mobile version of the card, so they'll be a little bit smaller. They'll be designed to run a little bit slower so that they stay cooler. So like a 4070 in a laptop, you know, might have a slight performance decrease from like a big desktop version like this. Obviously this is a 4080, but you know what I mean.
Got my PC about a week ago, and I'm very pleased with it. CLX, thanks so much. It was worth the wait and every penny. That is awesome to hear, my dude.
Thank you. Glad you like it. Really glad to hear you're enjoying it.
Let's see here. Joey, I'm not even sure what you're referring to, but thanks so much for being here. We appreciate it. I do like my laptop, but have been regretting it and wishing I went with the desktop.
Yeah, the thing with laptops is once you get them, I mean, there's definitely some that are upgradable, but once you get it, you're kind of locked into where it's at. Whereas when you get a desktop, you keep this thing for 5-6 years and then just throw in a new video card, and you're typically good for another few years after that. So,
Yeah.
Okay. I want this tied up.
Yeah, you can make a whole setup for $7,000. That's kind of wild. So the one thing I do want to pop back over to, because you'd had it in your hand, and let's take a look once again at that graphics card, because this is the TUF Gaming, and it is the, I believe this is the 4080.
yeah, this is the 4080, 16 gigabyte card. This is a large 4080. So, I mean, you guys can see how big this card is. This is the TUF Gaming to match the TUF motherboard, so really cool that we're staying on theme. We always like it when we see that. But yeah, triple fan. You can see it's got this giant opening in the back plate here, and that's where you can see all the heat fins coming off of the heat pipes that keep this thing cool. So essentially, this card, you know, we've got these fans on the front. These are bringing air in, blowing it over here, and this one down here, this third one, all that heat is getting pulled to this back of the card and then just being blown out right here. So a really great cooling card here. I like the weight of it. We're definitely going to be using an anti-sag bracket. It does have a little switch on here for a performance mode and a quiet mode. Typically we always leave that in performance mode since these don't get that loud anyways, but if, you know, for whatever reason this thing is run a little loud, you can just flip that switch and it'll make the fans run a little bit slower to keep it quiet.
Yeah. That's a chunky card too, though. It looks heavy.
It is. It is a heavy card for sure.
We're definitely going to be needing an anti-sag device as we get ready for this. Now, for those who don't know about what anti-sag devices are for, Paul, what is an anti-sag device?
So
why are these important?
So these are important because as video cards gotten bigger, you know, this is where your card mounts. You can see this tab right here. Your card slides into the slot, and these little notches in this hole, that's what screws it in, and that's all that's holding your card in place. So, you know, on these heavy cards, you've got it mounted over here. Well, it might start to sag a little bit down here, which is going to cause it to bend near your motherboard right here on the pins, which can break the slot off your motherboard. Obviously, that's a really bad issue. And so as the cards got bigger, we started seeing anti-sag devices. And what we're using in this is a piece that mounts directly to the case, and it essentially provides a post that sits on this side of the video card. That way we've got support on the left and right, and it doesn't sag at all.
Have we ever built a complete Evangelion system?
I haven't, no. We've seen them. They look really cool. From what I understand, those that hardware is kind of hard to get your hands on.
Oh, you mean the Eva Longoria builds? Yeah, those are very pretty.
Right.
Yeah, that's gorgeous. I just looked it up. I was like, oh my gosh, that's actually really cool.
Yeah, that's some
They had
really
them
cool
at
stuff.
DreamHack.
Yeah,
last time.
I remember seeing them. I was
Yeah.
like, ooh.
I was like, it's fun, all that themes, all the theming.
I didn't know how
Would be
to
so
say
cool.
that for a
I
very
just
long
call it
time.
Eva Longoria.
I always call it like Evangelion, like an evangelist, but it's
Yeah.
it's not that.
Well, it's not.
And just remember, even though it may say you have a 0.14% chance of winning, all it takes is one entry. That's all it takes. And we've had some people win with just one. So,
That thing is looking clean, Zach.
Thank you.
very clean.
I ain't even got.
What were the codes again?
I was saying, even the
Red
power
strips
plant, it all
and
looks super
blue.
clean.
Something, brother. Okay.
Looks good.
This is looking good. Looking very good.
So I've got the top light strip mounted.
Okay.
We've got it starting up here by the CPU power, and it goes across the top and then comes down the edge. It'll stop roughly where our graphics card is at. And then I've got
Nice.
our second one on the front of our fans here.
Yeah,
So
it's
that's
gonna
where
look really
those
nice.
are mounted this time.
Yeah, so for the question over there on Brewitt's Rose, the two codes were red, soot, S-O-O-T, that is Sierra Oscar Oscar Tango, and the other one was blue, BLU 6AWK, that is 6 Alpha Whiskey Kilo.
So we're going in with our video card, and this is our anti-sag bracket right here that we were talking about earlier. So you can see all these holes in here. So this allows for you to adjust where that post is to fit to your card. So once Zach gets this card installed, we'll install that actual piece that holds it there.
Nice. Nice. Erebus Ashlar. That's not true. We give away a free PC every single month. We have been for a couple of years now. It's very interesting, too.
Dude, this is...
Should I get the Power Color Hellhound 79 XTX instead of the Sapphire Nitro so my whole PC is white? I mean,
I mean, if you want to keep it
My whole
on
piece
theme,
is white.
do that. Yeah.
Okay.
You're not going to
Gaming
see
Creed,
like
welcome
a you're not going to see a difference in frames on games between those two cards if they're both 7900 XTs. So go with what you want, what you think looks good.
Mother Tortoise asks, do you guys have tutorials already made? I feel like the angles are so helpful.
We do not, but that is definitely something we've talked about, and one of these days we will do some of that.
Yeah. When do you all do the giveaways? The giveaways are announced, our winners are announced on the first stream of the month. So, it'll be a week from today that we'll announce the winner. Sorry, my throat is just killing me.
Perfect.
There we go. Mike Larissy over on the YouTube. Hello, what's going on? What's the RTX? This is an RTX 4080 that we've got put in there. Yep. A PC is a 2080 and a Ryzen 5600X. Nice.
There you go. That's a solid build.
Ooh, shake that card.
Triggered Media, you want to go ahead and
Solid.
go. Let's see. We'll have somebody put the link in there. Otherwise, if you're over on YouTube, Twitch, or Kick, you just type !give Flora.
No give.
Okay, there we go.
No
Just copy and paste that into that.
This is what I call a Bluetooth designed build. All of the cables are
How's that?
Bluetoothed.
That'd be great.
All of the cables are
A
Bluetooth.
cableless system. One of these days,
Dude,
we're gonna get it.
We had it in the bike world when I left, and bike shifting,
Oh yeah.
Bluetooth shifting.
Bluetooth? No way.
Yeah.
On
So
just a regular pedal bike? I mean, I'm
yeah,
sure it's a high-end bike, but
so you've got your shifters that click, go up and down. They have a
What?
battery on them, and then your derailleur has a battery on it, and they sync together.
oh, that is crazy.
The coolest thing ever is, so if you're climbing a hill on a normal bike and you shift it, it like ka-chunkas maybe
Yeah.
into place. This is just like cut and butter
Really?
next gear.
That's
cut
awesome.
butter next gear. Like,
So is there like a clutch in there? Some like little tiny clutch, or it just slaps that other gear in?
it just slides the
That's
derailleur
cool.
in play.
My
And
oldest.
Sorry, go
Oh,
for
good.
it.
I was just because my oldest learned to ride a bike this last weekend, so we went to Walmart and got her all hooked up. So I'm like, man,
Yeah.
that makes me want to get one.
The cool thing about it too is if a battery dies, you can just pop a battery from one of the other 5 items on the bike that uses the same battery
That's cool.
and keep going.
When I was in Colorado for that ski trip, we'd see people riding bikes in the snow, the big old tires. Yeah, it's good. It's so cool.
Fatties
Oh,
are
yeah.
so good.
Like, oh, this is cool.
You want to switch from PS5 to PC? That's a wise choice.
Okay.
Over here on the on the Twitch side, Firecracker says I'm a firefighter and bought a gaming laptop a few years ago. When finances are better, I'll be getting a new one from CLX. That's awesome to hear, sir, and thank you so much for your service and sacrifice. We appreciate it. Absolutely appreciate it. They do, yes. Dwayne Hill, I would definitely say head on over to clxgaming.com. We can do payments through, I think we do it through 2 different companies. There are also a lot of different options. We have pre-builts that are definitely, well, they're definitely great priced. They're very well priced.
Yeah. And
How soon do you think we'll? Oh, go
I
ahead.
was just saying, all of our pre-built, our RTS systems, they go through the same process as what we're doing here. A few weeks back when I did a build on the show, that was one of our RTS systems. We do typically build them in batches, but they get the same treatment, just like what this is getting.
Yep. Yep, Speedy Doodle.
Okay. And all these now.
Which is interesting, and we had some comments about the incredible
Alexis.
cable management, which is always something difficult to do. That takes skill.
Cable management's the hardest part of the build. It's the most overwhelming part too.
If we're gonna
Architect.
take
Oh,
PS2s off of motherboards, can we take Molexes off of power supplies?
Please, I love it. I mean, we can just snip them off right now. No, that would not be a good idea. But yeah,
let's see here. I'm getting a 7900 XTX with the 7800 X3D. Heck yeah, that's going to be a wicked build right there.
maybe we could start like a petition in the PC world to remove Molex from all power supplies. We go over to other channels and be like, sign our petition.
Days that I want to quit are because of motherboards not having enough USB headers
Yeah.
or plugins being weird. And it's just all right, I'm gonna change over to the motherboard market for a couple months and then come back.
Yeah, go over there. So
Go fix
lay down
this.
the law.
Yeah. Y'all been doing this wrong.
Yep.
TTB Baked Bread has a good question here. It says, what do you think is better for gaming, a 4060 Ti or a 3070 Ti?
So those are going to be
I'm using it just for playing Rust and whatnot.
for us. So those are going to be very similar. Now that 3070 Ti might play things a little bit better now, like your Rust and stuff like that. But I'd probably still go with that 4060 Ti. It's the performance is going to be very close, but as time goes on, a new game comes out, that 4060 Ti is going to last you longer than the 3070 Ti will.
Got a question coming from TikTok about how often you should replace your thermal paste.
So really, I don't have a set timeline to give you on when to change your thermal paste. Like for your CPU, I've gone 6-7 years without swapping mine out. If you're not noticing any thermal issues, it's another thing that I wouldn't touch. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. If you are noticing thermal issues, it's a great place to start. That thermal paste does get a little gross
Crunchy.
and kind of sticky over time. So, if it's been 10 years, then sure, pull the cooler off and put some on there. But if you're not seeing any temp issues or anything like that, I wouldn't worry about it.
David asks, doesn't a Molex provide more power?
It could provide double the power, and I still don't like it. I'm not sure what the power comparison is to like a SATA cable or something like that, but the reason we don't like Molex is because it's not like a solid connector. So each little pin in there moves around a little bit. And then if you're plugging into, say, like a fan or something else, those pins are known for popping out of the cable, and then it'll feel like you got everything in, but you got one pin that's out, and then you got to shove that pin back in. It's just a huge pain. It's like if you went to go plug something into your wall and the holes were all like moving around a little bit and you had to get everything lined up to plug it in.
Donovan Rachel over on the Facebook side says, what's the best video card on the market these days for gaming?
So right now, I mean, top of the line is probably going to be your 4090. I'm sure there will be, 4090 Ti or whatever they're going to call it, 4090 Super Duper Ti or something like that. But right now, that's kind of where it's at right now.
Let's see here. Architect down on TikTok says, should I get the NZXT Kraken 360 RGB 360 AIO CPU liquid cooler?
So I've never used one of those, but I've heard that they're solid. So, I mean, if it matches your build, it's what you want, go for it. That's going to be a great cooler. Any 360 AIO is going to perform solid. So, yep.
Yeah. One day we'll all love that 4090. I'll say that.
Yeah.
TTV Break Bread says, I'm super excited to see my PC. I should be ordering it on Thursday. Well, that's going to be exciting.
Oh, awesome.
Definitely excited. Good stuff. Right. So, at the moment, we're finishing up some of our tie-ups, but it looks like we've got most everything in, it seems.
Yeah, we're real close to done here. Looks like that CPU's plugged in. Just manage that cable, and then we'll plug in our video card.
Nice. Nice. We did have a question of are we ever going to play the zip tie game again? I think that was
If you all viewers demand it enough, we can bring back the zip tie game. But we haven't seen enough demand for it yet, so for now, we're not.
Yeah. Do y'all prefer water-cooled build over fans, and what is the difference? Good question, Donovan.
So I prefer the water-cooled AIO builds, if that's what you're talking about, or the open loop builds. I mean, those just are cool. But I believe, Zach, you're kind of on the other side. You like the air coolers.
I'm an airman. So. I have a Be Quiet Dark Rock Pro 4. It's super sexy. It hits like 3 millimeters away from my glass out front. Mm-hmm. It's just a big ol' awesome
chunk of metal.
Yeah. I also don't believe in RGBs, so it's just a red system right now. Black and red.
All right. Is the Corsair RM series from 2021 a good power supply? People say Corsair is bad for the PSU.
So we've used quite a bit of that RM series. Use the RM, the RMXs, and then a couple other different models they have. And for the most part, they've been pretty reliable. Definitely had some issues with a couple of them, but for the most part, they're a solid performing power supply.
Dadzilla says, I can't wait for the 70-degree temp swing in Kansas tonight.
Oh, yeah, you're here with us, yep. Oh, right? Man.
Half Crips meant I had to resend my PC back to CLX because it was having problems with one of the drives. It would say error in I/O.
Oh,
definitely get that fixed.
Yeah.
When do I... Oh, yeah, another question of when do I know when I need to put more throw and paste on?
So you shouldn't have to, add any or anything like that. Typically, you apply a set amount, and that's all you go with. If you're wanting to change your thermal paste, you'll wipe it completely off your processor and off your either air cooler or your AIO plate. You want to get it completely clean before you apply more. Typically, you're just going to do a pea-sized drop, but a little bit goes a long way with thermal paste.
Speaking of things that go a long way, how about 200 extra entries into the giveaway? The code is pink-R1N3 Romeo 1 Nevada 3. Super excited about that one. That's with 200 extra entries right there. That is a sharp looking build. I agree, James. I absolutely agree. Well, plus that's some beautiful looking cable management there.
Yeah,
Booty
we've got
fold.
just a couple more zip ties to throw in, and then we can start putting the panels on. So,
Okay, well, while you guys are working on that, I would love to take everybody over and show you all one of the easiest ways to get yourself a CLX PC. Let's take a look. At clxgaming.com, we try and do our best possible job to get you the exact PC that you want in the exact way that you want it. And you get to customize everything, whether you're looking for a small ITX case or you're looking for something larger. We've got multiple different variants. You choose your processors. We have Intel, we have AMD, we have Radeon, we have NVIDIA for graphics cards, and it's all up to you. And the best part is you don't have to be competent at making sure you're picking the right parts. If for some reason you pick the wrong parts that aren't compatible, our system will tell you, and that little green button that just turned to yellow is going to be like, hey, slow it down. So the best way that I can describe this is if you were to choose, say, a DDR4 motherboard and DDR5 RAM, the system's going to be like, all right, if you want this motherboard, you're going to have to choose one of the following DDR4 RAMs. But if you're really wanting that DDR5 RAM, then you're going to be able to choose from one of these DDR5 motherboards. Once you've solved the problem, that button goes right on back to green, and it goes, and you can move on to the next process. Now, some of the cool features about our website is some of the options that you get to use, and that includes being able to upgrade your thermal paste, being able to overclock your CPU, your GPU, or both, multiple drives, M.2s. You can choose open loop, closed loop. We got lighting kits. The best thing about it, especially for those of you who are streamers and content creators, we actually sell gaming gear, including capture cards, actual beacon mics and beacon mix creates, which are incredible. Headsets, monitors, you name it, we got it. We even have chairs, which sounds wild, but great. And look at that. So many different choices of headsets there. So now the one thing I will say is for some people, it's not about building the PC. It's a little overwhelming. Well, don't worry. We have dozens upon dozens of already configured, built, and tested, ready to ship units looking for a home. And who knows, that home might just be yours. So check it out. For all of your future gaming and PC needs, head on over to clxgaming.com and set yourself up for the future. All right. We eating them codes today? Yes. The beacons are so amazing. The software and hardware is perfect. Yeah, it is truly, truly impressive. Absolutely love it. So Donovan Rochelle asks, for a new PC gamer, what is a good starter build that you offer, budget friendly?
yeah, so starting out any of our systems with like Ryzen 5 or i5 with a 4060, something in that range is what I would start with. There's a few different options you can play around if you got that middle of the road budget. We can go a little bit more, a little bit less, but we've got plenty of stuff on our RTS sites that you can look at and just compare specs and all that.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, let us take a look here and see what we've got. This is going to be an amazing PC. Gabriel and Olympia, let's see how your PC turned out. Let's check it out. Are we ready? What?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, wow,
Love
that
those
looks
light
good.
strips.
Yeah, those turned out great. And also, I love that AIO cap, too.
Yeah, that looks good.
That's gorgeous. All right, let's go over one more time what's inside this amazing PC for Gabriel in Olympia. This, of course, is a raw 011 XL full tower in black. This has an Intel Core i7 14700KF processor mounted on a TUF Gaming Z790 Plus Wi-Fi motherboard. It has 32 gigs of DDR5 6000 RAM, and of course that powerful TUF Gaming RTX 4080 graphics card. The operating system is mounted on a 2TB Samsung 990 Pro, along with our Asus Zonar SE 5.1 surround sound audio card. The CPU will be cooled by an X-Nucleus AIO CR360 Lux D RGB AIO, and of course we've got those 10 EK fans as well, and it's all being powered by our 850 watt Game Disk Helios P2 850G 80 plus gold power supply. Well done. Well done indeed.
Great.
All right, now, this show, by the way, happens in two parts as usual. In a few, we're going to take a break, and when we come back, you're going to get to spend the afternoon with Zach as he continues building some really amazing machines and answering your questions. Now, as a reminder, this show happens every Tuesday and Thursday right here on Kick, Twitch, YouTube, etc. We give codes out on Tuesdays on Kick, Thursdays on Twitch. You can find us on Kick at kick.com/clxgaming, on Twitch at twitch.tv/clxgamingtv. Now, you can also find our codes there. You can check us out by following our social media as well as possibly finding our codes. And that is CLX Gaming at YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, and Threads. You can also possibly find codes and like-minded PC enthusiasts over on our Discord. That's discord.gg/CLXgaming. The other place you can find codes are on my streams, and I'll have one today over playing some Dying Light 2 after this show is over. And yeah, other than that, I think we've pretty much nailed it. This is awesome. So, with that being said, great build, guys. On behalf of Kyle and Jason in production, Paul and Zach, I'm DJ Blue PDX. Don't go away. We've got more coming up for you after the break. We'll be right back.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Thank you for being here.
Like